You know how sometimes people can say all the right things, their words flowing so easily, but something about their body language just doesn't add up. It's like there's a disconnect between what they're saying and what their body is actually telling you. Maybe it's a subtle shift in their posture, or a fleeting glance away from you, and you can't quite put your finger on it, but deep down you know something's off. This is what we call the art of deception, and it happens more often than you might realize. Especially in the world of dating, body language is like a silent language, one that speaks volumes, and if you're paying attention it can give you the answers you're looking for. Let's imagine this scenario together. You've just met someone, everything seems to be going well. They're telling you about their day, their hobbies, and you're having a great conversation. But then they suddenly avoid eye contact, and you notice their body subtly turns away from you. At first, it might seem harmless, but what if I told you that this could be a sign of dishonesty or discomfort? When someone avoids eye contact, they might be trying to hide something, maybe even subconsciously. The eyes are known as the window to the soul, and when someone can't meet your gaze, it could mean they're not being truthful or they're simply not fully engaged in the conversation. Now picture this, you're talking to them, and everything seems fine, but there's this constant fidgeting, tapping of fingers, shifting in their seat. It's like they can't sit still. You might think it's just nervous energy, but did you know that these movements are often a subconscious reaction to being uncomfortable or hiding something? People who are being deceptive tend to make these small repetitive movements because they're feeling anxious or guilty. They're trying to avoid being caught, or maybe they're not confident in their words. Either way, it's a clear red flag that you shouldn't ignore. Let's not forget about the classic crossed arms. You know what I'm talking about, right? When someone folds their arms across their chest while you're talking, it's a defensive gesture, a sign that they're closed off. This could be an indication that they're not being open with you. It's like a barrier between you and them, and it's one of the easiest ways to spot when someone's not being completely honest. Maybe they're trying to hide their true feelings, or perhaps they're uncomfortable with what you're saying. Either way, this body language tells you that they're not fully trusting the situation, and you need to take note of it. And here's another one that's often overlooked. Have you ever noticed when someone touches their face while speaking? Maybe they touch their mouth, their nose, or even their throat. It's a common subconscious gesture that people do when they're trying to hide something, or when they're being deceitful. When someone touches their face, they're covering up, they're protecting themselves. It's as if they're trying to shield the truth from being revealed. It's a silent admission that something is being concealed, and if you spot this while dating, it's a clue that they might not be entirely honest with you. Have you ever been in a situation where someone is speaking to you, and their words seem to be contradicting their body language? Maybe they're telling you that everything is fine, but their body is giving off signals of tension or stress, like clenched fists or a stiff posture. When this happens, it's a clear sign that something isn't aligning. Words and actions should match, and when they don't, it's a major red flag. You can't rely solely on what people say. You need to trust what their body is telling you, because that's often the truest reflection of their feelings. Let's also talk about mirroring. When two people are genuinely connecting, they often mirror each other's body language. It's a sign of rapport, a subtle way of showing that they're comfortable with each other. But when someone's not mirroring you, or worse, they're doing the opposite, leaning away or turning their body away from you, it's a sign that they're not fully engaged or invested in the conversation. This is especially important to watch for when you're dating, because mirroring is a key indicator of attraction and interest. If they're not mirroring you, it could mean they're not as interested as they seem. Let's also consider the tone of their voice. The way someone speaks can reveal a lot about their true intentions. When someone is being deceptive, their tone often changes. They might speak more softly, or their voice might become higher in pitch, which is a natural response to stress. Or maybe they'll speak in a rushed manner, trying to get their words out quickly to avoid being caught. Pay attention to these changes in their voice, because they're often a reflection of what's going on inside their mind. If their tone doesn't match their words, it's a sign that something's off. Now, how about their hands? When you're talking to someone and their hands are hidden or tightly clasped together, it could indicate discomfort or a desire to hide the truth. On the other hand, if their hands are overly expressive, it could be a way of trying to distract you from what they're really feeling. Some people use their hands to embellish their stories or to emphasize their words. But when they're overdoing it, it's a sign that they might be hiding something. They're trying to divert your attention away from the truth, and that's something you want to be cautious of. And let's talk about their feet. Yes, even their feet. The direction in which someone's feet are pointing can give you valuable insight into their true intentions. If they're pointing their feet away from you, It's a sign that they're not fully engaged in the conversation, or they might be trying to distance themselves emotionally. Feet can be a subtle but powerful indicator of where someone's attention and feelings really lie. So, when you're on a date, pay attention to where their feet are pointing, because it can tell you a lot about how they're really feeling. Finally, trust your gut. If something feels off, it probably is. Your intuition is one of the most powerful tools you have when it comes to recognizing deception. If their body language doesn't match their words, or if you notice multiple red flags, don't ignore them. Take a step back and assess the situation. Sometimes, our bodies give us signals that we don't even consciously notice, but they can help us make better decisions, especially when it comes to dating. So next time you're out on a date or meeting someone new, remember to keep an eye on their body language, trust the signs, and don't be fooled by their words, because the truth is often hidden in plain sight. Pay attention to the small, subtle cues and you'll have a much clearer picture of who they really are. And remember, you deserve honesty and transparency. You don't have to settle for anything less. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, because you will learn tons of information in the next video. See you soon!